from the global resources of Veterans Media Services. This is Veterans Newsline with Dave Ryba.
Good evening. We're coming to you tonight from Milwaukee City Hall for a Veterans for Peace event on this Veterans Day, 11/11/11. The Veterans for Peace is a national organization founded in 1985. It is structured around a national office in St. Louis, Missouri, and comprised of members across the country, organized in chapter and at-large members. They have an annual convention each year, which is attended by the members and families and supporters from across the nation. The organization includes men and women, veterans of all eras and duty stations spanning the Spanish Civil War, that's 1936 to 1939, World War II, the Korean, Vietnam, Gulf, and current Iraqi wars as well. So, let's take a look and see if we can talk to some folks here at today's event and see what this is all about today. Hi, joining me right now is Paul Moriarty. He is the president of the local chapter for Veterans of Peace here in Milwaukee. And of course, Paul, in my opening, I talked about the Veterans for Peace. It's a national organization that's been around since 1985. And can you tell us about the local chapter here in Milwaukee? I understand you do a lot of good things for veterans, doing something for the homeless veteran, and of course you run a food pantry as well. So why don't you tell the folks at home what that's all about?
Sure. The local chapter, I'm not exactly sure when it started, but I think it was around 1994. And it's really been only in the last 5 years that we've started the Homeless Veterans Initiative, which is an initiative. It started as an outreach to go, a couple of the guys would go 2 or 3 mornings a week and actually to some of the homeless shelters in the city and the places where the homeless live in the city, a lot of the abandoned factories in the Menominee Valley and such, and they would go out and actually find veterans in these homeless communities.
And now on this Veterans Day, 11/11/11, what kind of event are we here at City Hall to witness today?
So it's part of the mission of, or what a lot of the Veterans for Peace chapters are doing is bringing back, recognizing this is Veterans Day, but also bringing back its original name as Armistice Day. It's a day to celebrate peace, promote peace, and talk about renewing our commitment to end war as a tool, as an instrument of foreign policy.
Of course, and that's your main goal here, and so we're going to see some speakers, we're going to hear a little bit of music, and it looks like it's going to be a great event, so why don't we go downstairs and have a look at today's event.
On behalf of the Milwaukee Chapter of Veterans for Peace, Chapter 102, and our co-sponsors this evening, I'd like to thank you all for joining us in this observance of Armistice Day. This evening brings you one of Milwaukee's most beloved voices, Robin Fleur, the poetry and music of Harvey Taylor, the clarity and insight of Ruth Conniff of the Progressive Magazine, and Iraq Veterans Act Reform. Today, 11/11/11 marks 92 years since Woodrow Wilson proclaimed the first observance in 1919. He proclaimed the first observance with the words, "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us, and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of nations." Armistice Day calls on all of us to renew and strengthen our commitment to the struggle for peace and justice, and to recognize the sacrifice that our veterans have made. A veteran's experience of war never leaves them. It's this understanding of war's terrible reality and cost that leads veterans to often become leaders in movements to end its destructive appeal. I believe to honor veterans today is to persist in this struggle for the promise of the original armistice of 1918, an agreement to stop fighting, to stop using warfare to solve our international disagreements. So, I'd like to introduce our first musician this evening. Just simply the beautiful voice of Robin Plur and her wonderful guitarist, Peter Roller.
I was asked to sing a song from World War I. This song is about almost 100 years old. It was written in 1915. It's not a pro-war song in my mind. It's a song about coming home. They were storming from the hillside. They were calling from the glen, and the country found them ready at the stirring call for men. Let no tears add to their hardship as the soldiers pass along, and although your heart is breaking, make it sing this cheery song. Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though your lads are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark cloud shining. Turn the dark cloud inside out till the boys come home. Overseas there came a pleading, help a nation in distress, and we gave our glorious laddies honor made us do no less. For no gallant song, no freedom to a tyrant's yoke should bend, and the noble heart must answer to the sacred call of friend. Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though our lads are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark cloud shining. Turn the dark cloud inside out till the boys come home. Turn the dark cloud inside out till the boys come home.
All right, like Paul said, my name is Zach McCourt. I'm a disabled combat veteran, and I served in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. I served as a machine gun team leader in the 2nd Ranger Battalion stationed out of Fort Lewis, Washington from 2004 to 2007. And I deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom 2 times. On the 11th of November in 1918, the war known as the Great War came to a close. It was supposed to be the war to end all wars. Woodrow Wilson declared this day Armistice Day in celebration of peace. And ironically, Wilson had even run his campaign under the guise that he would not enter the war. Unfortunately, the definition of armistice is as follows: an agreement made by opposing sides in a war to stop fighting for a certain time, a truce. But we must not forget those who served. It is always an awkward situation when someone learns about my military past. They might say something about how they have a brother or cousin who's been to Iraq, or Afghanistan. Or they ask if you got to kill anyone, like killing someone is something to be proud of, a badge of honor, if you will. These borders need to be erased because veterans are a precious resource. We have been to the edge and lived to tell about it with hundreds of stories to tell. Now, it's difficult to find words to describe the way I feel about my service, so I'd like to paraphrase. There is among many who fight in war a sense of shame, one that is made worse by the patriotic drivel used to justify the acts of killing in war. Those who seek meaning in patriotism do not want to hear the truth of war, wary of bursting the bubble. The tensions between those who were there and those who were not, those who refuse to let go of the myth, and those who know it to be a lie, feed into the dislocation and malaise after war. Support our troops by not allowing our government to send them places that they don't belong for reasons that are not in our country's best interest. It has been 10 long years since the war in Afghanistan began, and over 7 since the war in Iraq began. Bin Laden and Hussein are both dead. We have accomplished the goal, and now it's time to bring our men and women home. Peace.
Musician, how he would like me to introduce him. He simply said to say to you all that he's honored to be here. So please join me in welcoming Milwaukee poet musician Harvey Taylor.
In the spirit of this solemn occasion commemorating the sacrifices of a great many, including friends and family, some of whom paid the ultimate price, a different world. That gentle, sensitive kid I knew in college long ago, what would he be like now if he were still alive? That aw shucks small town boy disoriented by the city, where would he be now if he were still alive? That give you the shirt off his back, wouldn't hurt a fly guy, what would he do now if he were still alive? That guitar strumming, baritone humming, life of the party singer, what would he sing now if he were still alive? Oh, I can see Bill smiling like it was yesterday. I can hear him laugh like it was only yesterday. That goofy, serious fool who played dead in a coffin one wild Halloween, what pranks would he pull now if he were still alive? That boy who dropped out of school and for something to do, joined the army, then went to Vietnam. Perhaps he killed. Certainly he died. It would be a different world if Bill was still alive. Yes, it would be a different world if Bill were still alive. A very good friend died fairly recently, mentor as well. Some of you, I'm sure, knew John Gilman, highly decorated infantryman who marched across much of Europe and after the war devoted himself to peace and justice activism. In his memory, the old soldier. I saw the old soldier at a peace rally, as I'd seen him many times before. The old soldier in his uniform, medals on his chest attesting to sacrifice and bravery under fire. The old soldier who knew war and its ravages intimately. The old soldier who became a gallant warrior for peace and justice, a steadfast advocate of international harmony and cooperation, a compañero to the world. The old soldier who says to us, now it's your turn. In John's memory and my friend Bill, I'm going to sing a song.
BP. Some oil doesn't pollute the sea. That's why I want to pay taxes. I'm part of the community. See the public library. I hate to see services cut. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I like paying my taxes. That's right. Skywalker, Barack Obama, it's there. I like paying my taxes. I like paying my taxes.
For our final speaker tonight, we're very pleased to have the political editor of The Progressive here with us. She joined The Progressive in 1992, writing about national politics. From 1997 to 2000, she ran The Progressive's Washington office, and has since joined the Madison crew since 2000 as the political editor. She is a regular on Wisconsin Public Radio, and a show called PBS to the Contrary, and many other shows. Actually, I didn't get them all written down. It's quite extensive. It's very impressive. And she also writes about state politics for isthmus. Please join me in welcoming the political editor of The Progressive magazine, Ruth Cummings.
And thanks for inviting me to be part of this Day of Remembrance. You know, if the founder of The Progressive magazine had his way, we wouldn't be here, because there wouldn't be an Armistice Day, because there wouldn't have been U.S. entry into World War I. As you all probably know, Fighting Bobby Follett was the chief national opponent of U.S. entry into World War I, and he proposed legislation in the Senate that would have made it illegal to profit from war, because he figured if there were no profits, there would be no more wars. Tradition in Madison over 100 years later, and I want to extend a special greeting to the veterans, and I was really moved by what Zach had to say. I think veterans are on the leading edge of U.S. policy, that they absorb the shock for all of us as Americans of U.S. policy, and have to confront and deal with how we all as Americans choose to live in the world in a very deep and personal way. The late, great Howard Zinn, who was a World War II veteran and also a columnist for The Progressive magazine, wrote about Veterans Day, "I do not want the recognition of my service to be used as a glorification for war." He decried the fact that Veterans Day, instead of an occasion for denouncing war, had become a celebration of militarism, an occasion for bringing out the flags, the uniforms, the martial music, the patriotic speeches, reeking with hypocrisy. He gives $70.9 million to military veterans who receive VA medical care for 1 year. I think that idea of bringing it all together, and the idea that people really get this feeling that large corporations and the 1%, the war profiteers, are the people who really make out with the policies that we have, has spread. And I think that gives us a great deal of hope for economic justice, for peace, and a more humane and better vision for our world. Thank you for
announcement about an event happening right after this that you may want to go to.
Hi everyone, I'm Becky Cooper from Peace Action, Wisconsin. I just wanted to invite all of you over to the River West Public House after this. We'll be having pizza and music to thank all of our veterans, to celebrate our small victories, and to renew our commitment to making Armistice Day an everlasting peace day. So I hope you'll join us. Vets get in free, and we'll be there all night. So.
What's this the address?
815 East Locust. Thank you for asking.
It's on the back of your program.
It is on the back of your program. It's the corner of Locust and Bremen. The Occupy Milwaukee protesters are camped out next door if you'd like to visit with them. So it should be a fun evening. Thank you.
I'll now read the names of the 114 veterans who have been killed in Iraq and Afghanistan since the beginning of both of those wars. Timothy Nick Madison, Amy Sue Kruger Keel, Russell Gilbert Seeger Racine, Ryan Adams Rhinelander, Christopher Algiar Middleton, Nicholas Anderson, Sauk City, Paul Adam, Green Bay, Paul Bartz, Waterloo, Justin Kane, Manitowoc, Robert Cook, Sun Prairie,
Stephen Kastner, Cedarburg,
Nick Dewhurst, Onalaska, Stephen Dries, Peshtigo, Garrick Eppinger, Appleton, Jacob Gasson, Beaver Dam, Matthew Hermanson, Appleton, Darren Hidalgo, Waukesha, Tyler Kreintz, Beloit, Ryan Larson, Friendship, Patrick Liebert, Ladysmith, and Michael McGreevy, Milwaukee. Jacob Miner, Fort Atkinson, Nicholas Miller, Little Chute, Scott Nagorski, Greenfield, Ryan Nass, Franklin, Michael Nolan, Spring Valley, Adam Novak, Prairie du Sac, Jacob Roelli, Darlington, Justin Ross, Green Bay, Adam Cervase, Onalaska, Chester Stoda, Black River Falls, Daniel Thompson,
Eric
Madison,
Clark, Pleasant Prairie, Todd Cornell, West Bend, Kenneth Cross, Superior, Grant Dampier, Merrill, Trevor Deasing, Plum City, Derek Dobagi, Fond du Lac, Donald Aco, Black Creek, Benjamin Ettinger, Green Bay, Christopher Frost, Waukesha, Nicole Fry, Lena, Dan Gabrielson, Frederick, Anthony Gonick, Sparta, Louis Grease, Sturgeon Bay, Matthew Grimm, Wisconsin Rapids, Andrew Halverson, Muscadet, Warren Hanson, Clintonville, Timothy Hansen, Kenosha. Bert Hoyer, Ellsworth. Rachel Hugo, Madison. Isaiah Hunt, Green Bay. Jamie Janke, Bay City. Benjamin Janskaski, Oshkosh. Ryan Drabaki, Oneida. Ryan Jopecki, Merrill. Matthew Kading, Madison. Charles Kaufman, Fairchild. Charles Kaiser,
Chad
Cleveland.
Simon, Dane. Benjamin Smith, Hudson. Adrian Salta, Milwaukee. Christopher Splinter, Platteville. John St. John and Nina. Andy Stevens, Toma. Kirk Strosecki, Beaver Dam. Paul Storino, Rice Lake. Jesse Thury, Costco. Jesse Tillery, Zesper. Harry Timberman, Minot. John Tollefson, Fond du Lac. Eugene Ewell, Amherst. Nathan Vacco, Ladysmith. Adam Vanelstein, Superior. Brent Vroman, Oshkosh. Patrick Wade, Manawa. Andrew Wallace, Oshkosh. Richard Warner, Waukesha. Robert Warnes, Waukesha. Michael Wendling, Travis, which lasts, West Bend. Michelle Whitmer, New Berlin. Jeremy Wolf, Menominee. Daniel Wyatt, Caledonia. Luke Zimmerman, Luxembourg. And finally, Matthew Zindars, Watertown.
That concludes our program for this evening. Please join us if you can at the River West Public House. And on the back of your program, there is a little flyer for a movie called On the Bridge that would be that has a free screening next Saturday at Marquette University. Please join us for that if you can also. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. And thank you for everything you guys do for peace and justice in this city and on the national level. Thank you very much.